Correct me if I'm mistaken, but I do believe there is a lot of roller coasters out there in the world. It might not sound real, but there is thousands of roller coasters around the world, and that is a very good thing. And for every roller coaster that's out there, there's a roller coaster enthusiast out there. That's not correct terminology. Okay, so what are we doing today? Well, thanks for asking. I'll gladly tell you. Okay, cuties, listen up, because I'm about to tell you. So if we go back maybe a month ago, I made a medium-length major motion picture film that talked about the idea of riding Cedar Point's roller coasters, but with no restraint. I know. Pretty despicable of me. I apologize. So, we're going to be doing the same thing that we did with that Cedar Point video, and do it with another park. But the question is what park we should do. There's so many different theme parks across the world, and especially in the US, how am I possibly going to narrow it down? Wait, I think I know which one. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme park I want to choose next for this series is the one that's 3 hours south of Cedar Point, and that one is
Kings Island.
Okay, so there was some confusion in the last episode of this series, so I'm going to go over it so we're all on the same page. Imagine this chair here is one of the seats that you would find on a Bollinger and Mabillard roller coaster. For the purpose of this video, there is no over-the-shoulder restraint or lap bar. We are also not going to be holding on to these side things or to our seat. We're just going to see if the laws of physics allows us to ride the ride or not. Okay, so we're just going to go down the list in alphabetical order and just see if we can ride them with no restraint. Here we go.
Have disturbed the Forbidden Temple. Now you will pay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first ride on our list is Adventure Express, and luckily, I think we'll be a-okay. Adventure Express can be considered as a family coaster. It's fun for the whole family, but not too intense for the little ones. So by nature, it's not going to be the most insane ride, but take that with a grain of salt because this is an aerodynamics roller coaster, and aerodynamics attractions can get wild. The track work here is very jerky and jolty. Us coaster enthusiasts love it, but it really doesn't help us in this case. An example of this is right here where you can see the track isn't the most smoothest. You can see the quirky transitions that the ride provides. But with that all being said, I am still a believer that Adventure Express can be doable without a restraint. It might be scary, but I think it's doable. So here's our makeshift tier list, and I'm going to go ahead and put Adventure Express in the Alive category. Next one, please.
Okay, stunt team, listen up. As with any driving stunt, safety first. So stay seated, keep your head against the headrest, and your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times.
The next ride we have on our list here is Backlot Stunt Coaster, a more modern family roller coaster. The ride starts with a 40-mile-per-hour launch, which might initially make you think that we can't do this. Fortunately, due to the laws of physics, we are being pushed into our seat, especially when we go up that upwards helix. And since the train here is banking right, we'll be a-okay. After that initial launch, we go into a nice detailed themed layout. Thank you, Paramount Productions. Backlot does scare me a little bit. I think you'll keep your momentum through this wave turn right here, but just be careful with this pop of airtime. And especially with the indoor portion because you can't brace for the elements because you can't see them. Last thing is to watch out for that transition right there, and I think if you do all that correctly, you'll be a-okay. But watching those POVs, it might look like Backlot could hurt a little bit, especially with no restraint, so I'm going to put Backlot in Alive but Hurt. So we have Backlot right here, and we're going to put it in Alive but Hurt. On to the next one. You know, unlike the previous rides we just mentioned, Banshee has something different going on. Bursting bubbles is my passion, and lucky for me, I get to tell you that Banshee is not possible. Unfortunately, Banshee has those things called inversions, and they don't really play well when you have no restraint. Unfortunately, you're probably going to slide out due to the steep descent, but if you somehow manage to make it past that, the dive loop, the vertical loop, the zero-G roll, the pretzel knot, the other vertical loop, and the random turnaround, you are greeted with this. So it's my greatest sorrow that I must put Banshee into the dead category.
Darting madly through a starless sky, the frenzied flight of the bat takes you by surprise.
When we take a look at Bat Kings Island, it has an interesting story to tell, especially with its train design. The train on the Bat is basically a big old chassis that you sit in. And just like Iron Dragon, the lateral forces on the Bat are kind of eliminated with the swinging aspect. Not entirely, but reduced. To be honest, Bat Kings Island is kind of a close call. The laws of physics are kind of helping us out in this moment, because we're being in our chair and we're swinging side to side. But at the same time, Bat is a thrill coaster and it covers a lot of distance with its layout. So I can kind of see it going either way with, yes, you can survive, or maybe not. But after watching this POV for a while and studying it, I think it's better to be safe than sorry. So we're going to go ahead and put Bat into the dead category. Not very safe, but you know what I mean. Some of the transitions on the Bat from swinging side to side just look a little too snappy for someone that's not wearing a restraint. Maybe next time.
Face to face with the beast. The beast.
The Beast at Kings Island may be the world's longest wooden roller coaster with over 7,000 feet of track, but it's not really a beast at trying to throw you out of your seat. Throughout the entire 7,000 feet of track, there's not really a spot where you should be concerned about. The Beast is a lot of straight track and long turns, but we all still love the Beast very much for what it is. But just unfortunately, it falls short when trying to throw you out of your seat. I guess this is a good thing?
The park says it's changing the name of the Intimidator roller coaster to now it will be Thunderstrike. The roller coaster is named after...
Oh, wait a second. That's the wrong red B&M Hyper. Let me fix that real quick. I'm a snake. A red B&M snake. I was manufactured by B&M, built 2009. Thank you, Cedar Fair and Kings Island. I'm a red snake. I slither above the Kings Mills area.
Acres of snake-backed track coiled around the clouds.
Unfortunately, Diamondback suffers from the same problem as Banshee. They were both built by B&M, and B&M isn't really known for making tame little roller coasters. They make huge things like this. Diamondback has a plethora of airtime hills that will send you out of your seat if you have no restraint on. And unfortunately, that's not really going to work with us.
Welcome aboard, travelers. We promised you escape from the struggle and heartbreak of the workaday world. And what escape could be more final than oblivion?
Unfortunately, I can't really show you a POV of Flight of Fear because it's in a dark box and you can't see anything, so here is this off-ride footage right here. But unfortunately, Flight of Fear kinda explains itself with the first element, with 2 inversions in 1. And the other day, when I was checking out Gravity, it really didn't work too well. Stop calling Flight of Fear Fob.
I got 5 pieces of candy. I got a chocolate bar. I got a quarter. I got a rock.
I'm not very sure on Great Pumpkin Coaster. This roller coaster is just absolutely terrifying. It's really tall, really fast. I just don't know where to put it. I feel like you could fall out on this thing. But after further review of this roller coaster, it looks like we might be able to squeeze it into the alive category. I think we'll be alright. I got a rock.
I'd like to take his face off.
We didn't take a break from long from the dead category because our next roller coaster is in Vertigo. Oh, hey in Vertigo. I completely forgot you existed. Once again, in Vertigo kinda has the same story as Flight of Fear. We enter a Cobra roll and we're pretty much dead. But even before the Cobra roll, we would have fallen out of our seats due to the climb of the lift hill being backwards. Invert dead, I guess.
He left a scribbled note in the mill workshop next to the code machine that read, "Don't go in the shed."
Kings Island's newest wooden coaster, Mystic Timbers, is possible, for at least a little bit. The first few elements of Mystic Timbers does actually look possible, but as soon as we dive down from here, it's basically game over. You can see that the ride offers quick pops of air times and quick transitions from one side to another. This layout basically repeats itself until you get to the shed, but by then you won't be visiting it because you would have been out of your seat. We're running out of space.
Warning, meteor shower in range.
Kings Island's tallest and fastest roller coaster. I'm sure you know where this is going. It's not possible. Sure, you can make it to the top of the lift hill, but the first drop says it all. Orion's full of these really tall elements that are just not possible without a restraint. And especially the speed hill right here that just would have sent you flying. Goodbye, Orion. Next up is Racer, and I think we're gonna have a tough decision on this one. The main point of Racer is to race the other train and airtime, and a lot of it as well. I feel like the parts we need to worry about are the second hill right here, and maybe this hill as well. But I feel like the other hills just aren't as strong enough to completely lift you out of your seat and you just to fall off. As of now, I think Racer stands a chance in the alive category, but if you think wrong, let me know. Yeehaw. From one opening day attraction to another, Woodstock Express is definitely possible. It's a fun little ride with quick dips and turns, and definitely won't be sending you out of your seat, but that's a good thing in our case. And it's a kids coaster, we don't want that. Hooray! One of the new things happening to Kings Island this year is the repaint of Flying Ace Aerial Chase to Woodstock's Air Rail. Now what we have here is a family coaster for all ages, but the problem with this is that it's inverted, making it a lot more dangerous without a restraint. I'll keep the POV rolling so you can make your own judgment as I explain mine. With the momentum of just going forward, you're kind of being pushed into your seat, and the ride's not really that intense or insane, but even though it's hanging, I feel like we could be okay with this. Until you reach the final brake run where the train will come to a complete stop and you'll probably fall out of your seat due to momentum. So I think it's okay to put Woodstock's Air Rail in Alive But Hurt. Some people are gonna disagree. Finally, the last roller coaster on our list is the new for 2024 Snoopy Soapbox Racers. We don't have a POV for this ride yet because it's not been open yet, but this ride has been built many other places around the world, so we can use the POV from another place. This roller coaster is what we call a boomerang roller coaster, where you will go forward first and then go backwards, covering the same track or vice versa. Luckily for us, this ride is not too intense because it's a family coaster, so we don't really need to worry too much. I would say the only thing we really have to worry about maybe is this little hump right here, and then of course going backwards. Since you're going backwards, you want to be able to see what was coming up, so you couldn't really brace for the elements. So all you gotta do is be careful on the backwards section, and other than that, I think we'll be good. So let's go ahead and put our final roller coaster in our tier list, and there we go. We have all of the alive coasters, all the Alive But Hurt, and of course all the dead roller coasters. Hooray! But other than that, that is the end of this video, so thank you for sticking around if you made it this far, and thanks. Whoa, Max, stop. Hold still. Hold still. Okay. 3. Just hold still, bud. Hold still. Oh no, I got him.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. I like that guy.
This is good.